So welcome back, guys. I thought I'd do something a little different for you guys today. I am going to do my top 10 most expensive Atari 2600 games. I normally don't put like homebrew games in, but I decided to put a couple in just because they're so darn expensive. There's a lot of games here. I'll try to give you a brief description of basically when I got the games, if I can remember. So guys, let's get going here. We're going to start with number 10. This is... move it up here so you guys can see it. Death Trap for the Atari 2600. One of those games I've never really played much. I do remember when I got this game. I believe, if you guys remember a few years ago, when I got that Atlantis 2 cart in, and I got a whole bunch of Atari 8-bit cartridges, this was one of the games that was in there. I decided not to keep Atlantis 2 because it basically plays just like Atlantis. I didn't see any reason to add it to my collection. But this one I definitely wanted to add. Currently on eBay it runs for about 30 bucks. Now at number 9, this is actually a pretty decent game. It's a Parker Brothers game. That is Montezumas Revenge. There you go. Again, there's multiple ports of this game. The 2600 version is actually pretty fun. As you can see, unfortunately, mine's got a little bit of label damage on it. Really happy to have this one in my collection. Currently on eBay, it's about a $38 game. Not super expensive. It may be a little more if it was in a little better condition. So at number 8, this is probably one of the best games out of the top 10 as far as being a really good game. That game is Hero. And if you guys remember, this is probably, if I'm not mistaken, Metal Jesus' favorite 2600 game. I honestly, if you guys don't have this game in your collection and you collect for 2600, definitely worth getting. Really fun, really colorful, really good graphics and sound. Currently on eBay, it's about a $44 game. So at number 7, this is one that I thought was worth a little more than it actually shows up on eBay. Currently it's about a $55 game. I thought it was about a $70 game when I last looked before doing the video. That game is Crazy Climber. Again, if I'm not mistaken, this was also part of that Death Trap and the Atlantis 2 cart. It was in there. Again, was not going to pass this one up. I'm currently sitting at about 330 games, so it's getting really hard to find games to add to my collection. So when these things come around, I'm going to grab them. So at number 6 is a Tiger Vision game. That is Springer. So this is a game I don't know much about. I've had it in my collection for a long time. Honestly, this was probably just a random find at a flea market many years ago. Probably 10 to 15 years, to be honest. That's how long I've had this in my collection. Currently on eBay, it's about a $60 game. So at number 5, this is going to be the first homebrew game that I decided to add to my collection. This was made by Ed Fries from the Halo days. Yep, that is Halo 2600. Really nice, really cool looking. It kind of plays the way I best could describe this game is it kind of plays like maybe Berserk with a little bit better graphics. You're the Halo and the Master Chief, and you're running around from screen to screen killing enemies. Not a bad game. Looks pretty good too on the Atari 2600. If I'm not mistaken, the last time I looked, this is about a $90 game complete in box. And I think this one, if I am not mistaken, is still factory sealed. I got this off Atari Age many years ago. So now we're up to number 4. This is another one of those games. It's a homebrew. I shouldn't say homebrew. It was kind of one of those games that's probably a $10,000 to $15,000 game. When it was found in Canada many years ago, the guy who got the game, it was a museum. He made like maybe 40-50 copies of it, and I was lucky on Atari Age to be able to get a copy of it. That is Extraterrestrials. Not a really good game. It's a 2-player only game. Kind of looks like Pac-Man. Again, this is one of those games. It's more collectible than it's fun to play, unfortunately. When I looked a few years ago, this was about a $200 game. Now it's down to about $115. So now, number 3, we have got Yes, this is a game, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, it was part of the Atlantis 2, Death Trap, those games that I got. I think it was when we got those games, I was pretty sure it was from a collector because it had Atlantis 2 and some other really expensive games. This was one of them. That is Tooth Protectors. Again, not one I've played very much. Currently on eBay, it says it's about a $197 game. So now we're up to number 2. This is one, you guys, if you've been following me for a while, will remember how excited I was when I found this out in the wild. I found this with an Atari 2600 with about 40 games. This was one of the games. I just could not, I mean, I know I recorded when I found it, and I was just so ecstatic to find the game. It was just one of those once-in-a-lifetime kind of finds. That was Sword Quest Waterworld. Just super happy to have this in my collection. One of those things that y'all probably never get rid of. Currently on eBay, it says it's worth about $253. The last I remember it was about a $200 game, but the last few I've found were right around $250. So before I get to number 1, there's a couple honorable mentions. I had some changes that I made at the last moment. This was one of the ones that was in my top 10, and I decided to pull it out just because I didn't want too many homebrews in. This is actually a hack. I cannot remember what game they hacked for this. Kind of funny. It's because there's a little saying on the cart that says, because crap happens. Yep, this is poo. So what I remember about this game is you're catching poo that's falling down. Yeah, it says it's presented by Mystique. So this might have been one of the X-rated games, one of the hacks that somebody made. I remember when I got this off Atari Age, it came up in a random auction or a random listing on their marketplace. I can't remember how much I paid. It might have been 30-40 bucks for it. Last one I saw on eBay sold for about 50 bucks. When I got it, it actually came with the baggie, some plastic poop, and the manual. So maybe someday I'll do a let's play on this just so you guys can see it. Another homebrew I got in the last few years, probably about 6 years ago. It's an okay game. I don't know if you can get this anymore. It's called Endless Snow. And if you can see on the back, it's basically a show snuggling game. So basically you're shoveling snow, and your wife, if you can see right there, she puts coffee out for you so you don't freeze. So you have to keep shoveling snow as they drop and keep making sure you drink coffee so you don't freeze to death in the game. Again, it's not bad. It's kind of hard. I think I paid about 40 bucks for this back, like I said, about 6 years ago. So number 1, it is unfortunately another homebrew game. I think I paid about $80 when this first came out. They only released 250 copies because it was an officially licensed copy. They actually went out and got the rights from First Star to make the game. This is still a factory sealed copy. I probably will never open it. Unfortunately, I don't think, as far as I know, in the last few years it may have changed, but there's no way to play this game without actually having a cart of it. You can't like get a ROM and play it, supposedly. That is Boulder Dash. This game was made on tons of different consoles. I will say the Atari 2600 version is actually really good. It looks really nice as well. Again, I've never played it. Right now, currently on eBay, this sells for about $400 in factory sealed condition, just because they were very limited, and supposedly they're never going to make them again. But I'm really happy to be able to add this one to my collection as well. So guys, that's it. That's my top 10 most expensive Atari 2600 games in my collection. I got some other videos coming out here soon. I've got some more Let's Play, a couple of Commodore 64 arcade remakes that were made, just like the ones I'd previously put out for you guys. Also, I'm going to have a pickups video. It's about a year's worth of stuff, so I'm probably going to break it down into 2 or 3 videos. I'm waiting for something to come in. As soon as I get that in, I'll start filming those, and hopefully in a few weeks I'll have them out. So guys, thanks again for watching.